Hey y'all, it is Reese, and I am taking over the Cousins episode to interview the host. Hope, are you Hope?
What up, though?
What up, though? So, in this interview, we are going to get to know Hope different. So, first things, take me through your childhood. How was that for you?
Whew, Lord Jesus, she just jumped right on in. Okay, Lord.
Yes.
Let me loosen this tie. um, you know, most people know like my mom is a recovering addict, so you, we didn't have the worst childhood because we had, granny and all of that stuff. My older sister, my older brother,
Hmm.
my stepdad. But we moved 13 times before fifth grade. So um it wasn't the worst. It wasn't the bad. I definitely came home to our stuff on the curb. Experience having your lights cut off the whole nine. I watched my mama go from on the streets to giving her life to God. Like my childhood was like my childhood prepared me for life. Honestly,
Okay.
we lived in the Salvation Army. That was like an apartment complex for recovering addicts. Not like a shelter, but like a real apartment complex. That
Hmm.
time in my life shaped me to understand, okay, I'm gonna have to deal with people. I'm gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
everybody different. Everybody come from different backgrounds. Everybody's situation ain't the same. They didn't all end up, even though they all ended up here, they didn't get here the same way. So like my childhood was all over the place, but one thing that stayed consistent was the hustle. Like I've been hustling since I was young. I always felt the need to have a little pocket change in my pocket. So um all over the place, but taught me everything that, prepared me for life and, being able to move through dealing with different people, dealing with different personalities and all that good stuff. And just not, cause like some of my friends, they wasn't diverse. You get what I'm saying? Like
Hmm. Hmm.
I had to learn how to make friends over and over again. And I'm not the most outgoing person. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, everybody's cup of tea. Um, you know, So being able to do that, especially like, I'm gonna just keep it real, especially as a big girl with a lazy eye, being able to just make friends and people just love me and just accept me was a thing. Cause like, and I learned and I knew that. Cause like I had friends who was big and they used to get teased and all. Like, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Like, definitely still got teased. But you want to play the dozens with me, we just gonna have to go. You gonna have to make me cry. Something you gonna have to because I ain't about to just back down and just let you play me out like that. But I'm also not gonna be the one that started. But I'm for sure gonna be the one that finish it. You feel me? Or at least try to.
Hmm.
So like, just knowing like at a young age, like dang, if I can go from school to school and make friends and do, you know what I'm saying, like I'm gonna be good in life. And then also just for it teaching me to let stuff roll off my back, which
Hmm.
kind of hurt me for a little while as an adult, cause like yes, I'm affected, but at the same time, okay, we moving on. Like, cause what other option do you have, especially as a kid, but to be like, okay, it's out of my control. Hopefully mom's find somewhere, like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
when we found stability in fifth grade, like that was a whole different mind shift. We moved to the suburbs. Now I gotta learn how to deal with white people. I gotta learn how to, be black in America.
Hmm.
Um, and we went to a predominantly white school. When we moved to the suburbs, they had to change the curriculum because in the curriculum was a article written by an educated white man and one written by uneducated black man. And the teacher tried to make a black kid read, it had the word nigga in it with the heavy ER on the end. You feel me? Like
Hmm.
stuff that shouldn't be in the curriculum in the school. You feel me? And we was the only two black kids in the school besides, our siblings. But in that grade, in that class, we the only two black kids. So like I've seen it all, honestly. But again, it made me who I am, made me be able to be the diverse person that I am, be able to maneuver, problem solve, situation solve, just, be able to just move, militant and be like, okay, I gotta pivot and do this. Pivoting
Yeah.
has been the best thing for me, and I learned that at a young age because
Hmm.
you know. When you move 13 times, what up? What you doing? You pivoting. So
Yeah. Before we go on, a lot of people may not realize that you are born and raised in the 313 Detroit. Yes, you can ask.
yeah,
Yes, that is
that's
definitely
home.
where the yes, that's definitely where the widow lane comes from. It sounds like you said, your childhood wasn't perfect, but it was perfect enough for you to learn as many lessons as you possibly can to get to where you are today. So, speaking on that, when did you start your business? Can you take us through that? Because not every story has to end the same way it started.
Yeah, for sure. So my first business was Gladiator Sports. Like I
Okay.
always been heavy into the kids and just, giving back and all that stuff. When I finished high school, I had 3,000 plus hours of community service. Like that's always been a big thing for me.
Hmm.
So we started Gladiator Sports, which was sports for kids in the inner city, stuff like that, which is actually how the print company was birthed. But in between that, my most people don't know my degree is in culinary arts, so we had warm catering for a minute, and it did good, it did straight. But I found out real quick that that wasn't for me because I just felt like why did I have to go to school for this while somebody else just on the line doing the same job as me with no education. So
Hmm.
from there, we were still doing the sports. I was still coaching. I coached elementary and middle school basketball for DPS and PAL for a few years. And then once I moved to Houston, coached for AAU for a few years. But in Detroit, I had some of the poorest teams that I was coaching, mostly because the neighborhood that my girlfriend lived in at the time, her son went to those schools. And so, we coached those schools, and they didn't have nothing. No, they didn't have nothing. The principal was like, "Look, you gonna have to figure it out. You gonna have to figure out uniforms. You gonna have to figure out everything, basically." And so, it was expensive.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
expensive, and then I was still doing my community service stuff and everything. And I'll never forget, I had 100 shirts made. It was a bittersweet moment for me. We did one
Hmm.
event, we had no shirts left, and I was happy. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, I just paid $1,700 for these shirts, bro. Like, how they going and when I gotta do this again for the next event? Like, this is crazy. And I remember at the time my homeboy Tony, he had already had a print company,
Hmm.
and he really just took me under his wing. I never intended on doing print. That's the thing. Like, I fell in love with print by accident. I never intended on it was not on my bucket list, it wasn't on my goal list, none of that. But he took me under his wing, started teaching me stuff, and it was like, dang, I still get to make people smile, get to still help people, be a blessing, and do something that is lucrative to me. You feel me? Because coaching wasn't making no money. But it was costing me a lot of money. And I was
Yeah.
okay with that because again, like I love giving back. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I was just a poor little kid from the ghetto.
Yeah.
And so he started teaching me how to screen print. And
Mm.
for those the printers that's gonna be watching this, y'all know how much it costs us. It's pennies, especially back then, if you was burning your own screens and everything. So just imagine going paying $17 a shirt. And that's when I was ordering at 100 shirts. If it was just one shirt, it might be $25, $30. Because back then you gotta understand that t-shirt print was not cheap.
Yeah.
They just started coming out with more efficient ways to print. And the
Hmm.
cheaper ways to print, most people wasn't doing it because they didn't have access to it. So learned how to screen print, and it changed my life. I went from paying $17 a shirt to paying $5 or $6. And so
Mm.
now we can pump out stuff. We pumping out uniforms for the kids. We pumping out t-shirts, gear, swag, the whole nine. And it just felt amazing. And it's like I'm like, oh, I get to feel. I can feel this. I can do what I want to do. I can bring joy to whoever I want to bring joy through print. All right, let me dive a little bit deeper into it because I wasn't doing my own designs back then. I was outsourcing everything. And so once I realized like, dang, I can really write my own ticket with this if I do it the right way. My whole focus shift to like, okay, let me build this thing because I actually like doing it. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, you're gonna take L's, but that's any business. And once I wrapped my mind around that, it was go time after that. So that was I might have been 19 or 20 maybe. I first started printing. I didn't have a business. Remember, I was working under my homeboy Tony, so I didn't have a business, but I was printing. I was printing under his business. And then when I moved to Texas, like I just took a leap out on faith and was just like, you know what, I can do this. And there's nothing against Tony, like he was great for me. But I needed a new change of scenery, starting to get to the point where, everybody, like, it wasn't my business, but everybody was coming to us. And I was like, I need to be able to control everything. And that's just the tourist in me. Again, it's nothing that Tony did, whatever, whatever. It was just that I knew that if I was gonna do this, I needed to be full throttle, everything in. And I literally moved to Texas, threw my phone in the drawer, my Detroit phone in the drawer, and just chased after my dreams. Like, listen, I ain't never networked so much in my life, pulled up, played like in my life, moving to Texas
Yeah.
was like the best thing that I ever did. I'm not gonna lie to you, and it's not a day that I regret ever moving to Texas because it was the best thing that ever happened to me. But that's how the print company was birthed. It was an accident. It wasn't even. I just
Yeah.
I paid $1,700. My money was gone too quick. I ain't like it. I was like
Yeah.
ah.
So for so many people, they hear $1,700, they may think, okay, we'll just start off with a shirt, you spent 17, but break it down to them, $1,700 is such a big number in the beginning, right? So when you were purchasing your shirts for 7, what was your options after that? Would explain to them, yes, you had to give 17, but you had to charge X to get to your goal.
See, that's the thing. For those shirts, we gave them away like they was giveaway shirts, so we
Okay.
didn't make no money off those shirts. If we would have made money off the shirts, I wouldn't have been mad. It's like run it back, let's do it. But these
Yeah,
were
yeah.
things that we were giving
Okay.
away. We did a community cleanup just to break it down even farther. So we did a community cleanup
Okay.
at shoot, what's it's the school off 7 Mile, and it's a high school and I can't think of it right now. It's off
Hmm.
East 7 Mile and essentially Mound, but on the Detroit side it's not Mound. It's I just can't think right now.
Okay.
Either way, we did a community cleanup. We had so many people just coming out. Like we already had like 30 or 40 volunteers, and then people was just walking up like, oh, we just, what y'all doing? Let's do it. Can I get a shirt? And by the time I looked up, all the shirts were just gone. You feel
Gone.
me? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and so if we would have made money off the shirts, I wouldn't have been mad. But
Gotcha.
we was giving away, and the thing is, like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna give away 20, 30 shirts this event, 20, 30 shirts to another event. Like, I thought I had a couple events. You feel me? Nah, I ain't
Yeah,
think we was
yeah.
about to be sitting on them. But I ain't think we was gonna run through them in one event either. You feel me? Like,
Right.
but it also opened my eyes of the power that kind of like I had to be able to assemble and gather people
Yes.
to do for good causes. You feel me? Like we had a good run in Detroit when it came to cleanups. Like we did clean the brook, which was us cleaning up Pembroke every week, every Saturday for 6 months straight. We picked part of Pembroke to go clean up because what people don't realize, because Pembroke is kind of ducked off, it's a main street, but it's
Hmm.
not.
That's right.
Like it's like a main side street,
Yep.
and people was dumping trash and all kind of stuff. Kids had to walk to school past that, and it was bothering me. And so I assembled my my different print companies and just different companies in Detroit. And we got busy. You feel me? People was donating
Hmm.
garbage bags, rakes, all kind of stuff. The men was coming out. Like our shop on 7 Mile that we end up having on 7 Mile right before I left for Texas. How we end up
Yeah.
in that shop is we was doing a community cleanup. My dog Gotti and them, they were fixing up houses and they seen what we was doing. They was like, well, we got some power tools. We can come cut this down out the way, make it faster. He went back, got his team in the truck, came back, whoop, 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 sped the whole
Hmm.
process up. And then we end up just being real, real tight after that and just doing a lot of business and stuff. But I tell people all the time, like my best business ventures, the things that were stepping stools for me came from me being out in the community doing stuff that didn't make me a dollar. But and also I wasn't, even though we was posting, we didn't do stuff for the clout. You feel me? Like we
Yeah.
really was doing it like behind closed doors, with the door open, with the camera rolling, without the camera rolling. We was really doing it. We was feeding the homeless,
Hmm.
clothing kids, the whole nine. Like it didn't matter if the cameras was rolling or not. And it was crazy is when the cameras wasn't rolling, that's when we got the most recognition. Like people just found out somehow. And then now I'm getting phone calls. Oh, I got 30 pair of jeans for little boys who need them. You feel me? Like,
Hmm.
and it just was a blessing. It took off from there. So like, Yeah.
The power of giving back to your community. Word of mouth spreads further than any social media could, at least during that time. So
Word of
walk me
mouth definitely
through.
built my company for
Mhm.
sure. Never.
Yeah.
It's crazy you say that because I literally just told Facebook like I got to get back to my roots because social media ain't never been my thing, and we kind of got lost in the sauce when they started paying people to post and stuff, and I was
Yes.
counting on that too much, and then like my real business started kind of being affected. I'm like, this ain't even what we do. This ain't even what we about. The people used to seeing us
Yeah.
out and about. You feel me? Not behind a computer
Hmm.
screen. So it's
Right.
crazy you
Right.
said that.
So you said you moved to Texas. Why Texas?
Say that again.
Why Texas? Why did you pick Texas to
You want the real answer or you want the political answer?
whichever one you want to give?
A girl, it's like no. So my current girlfriend, who we was like, she from Texas, and it's crazy because she really wanted to move to Detroit, and I'm like, no, I gotta get out of here. Like this ain't. I'm not about to let you come here. You gonna go backwards type. You feel me? And so she flew me out. I ain't gonna lie. She flew
Okay.
me out, and I was shooketh. I never seen us like we think we live in a big city in Detroit. Nah,
Mhm.
you get to Texas is different. I got a friend right now who won't drive in Texas because she like, bro, the freeways is 4 and 5 lanes. What I'm supposed to do with that? Everybody
It's
flying. What I'm supposed to do with that? Like my nerves bad. You feel me? She really like paying the car note, they won't drive it. You feel me? Because she just
yeah,
like this.
yeah,
I
too
wasn't ready.
much.
I wasn't prepared. You feel me? It's too much. And so um it started off as that. Like just we was flying back and forth really, seeing each other, whatever, and then like that first time I came, I don't think we did no business. So like it was just no. The first time she came, the first time she came to Detroit, right?
Mhm.
So when I finally flew out to Texas, she took me to places like Harwin and just
Mhm.
she had a plan. She's like, I'm gonna get her to stay in Newston, okay?
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
when I was paying $5 for shirts in Detroit, I was paying a dollar
Hmm.
69 in Texas. You feel me, for the same quality, and I was like, I gotta be here. I gotta be close to it. I can't go
Yeah.
back. And then just they vibe here in Texas, like they real family orientated. They real slow down. When I first came down here, they called me a fast talker. And that used to
Hmm.
offend me because in Detroit, a fast talker always is like a
Yep.
scammer or something. I'm like, bro, I ain't no fast talker. Don't talk to me like that. I don't like that. And then one of my partners put me like, we aren't saying you a scammer hoe. We just saying like you just move fast, everything fast. We in the South, we slow down, we chop the screw. We, you know what I'm saying? Like they
Yeah.
live
We
that life for real.
pacing.
They swinging and banging. You feel me? Like they slow creeping. They
Yeah.
not doing all that extra stuff that we doing in Detroit, moving around fast and all this stuff. Like even just a few years ago, like my partner Derek, I was telling Dominique this on one of the pods, like he had to pull me to the side, like slow down. When you moving fast,
Mhm.
everybody around you feel like they gotta move fast because they all looking at you. You stuff go when you say go. So
Yeah.
you gotta slow down. You gotta, what I'm saying. Don't be running around with your head cut off. Just be cool, calm, and collected. Like I really had to learn that. Texas taught me a lot of lessons that I don't think I ever would have learned in Detroit, honestly. Because you can only grow up so much in Detroit if you ask me.
Hmm.
Especially and this is the thing, like I always had good people because once my mom got clean, like she kept good people around us. That's why I'm able to be so grounded, so well rounded, and all of that stuff. But like you said in the episode, you only know what you know, and so when they only know what they know, it's only so much they can pass down to you, and it's just certain things that I feel like you cannot learn in the North because it's just not
Hmm.
taught. It's not a thing. Is not the norm. You feel me? Like even down to like I'm gonna put it like this. When I moved to Texas, right, I ain't have no license. Now we know in
Hmm.
Detroit that's a thing. Like 7 out of 10 people ain't got no license. Okay, like you say that to somebody, they don't even think twice about it.
Or
I moved
insurance.
to Texas. I told one of my friends I ain't had no license. She was like, "You ain't got no what? Well, we don't do that
Hmm.
down here. You gotta get that to get like I'm feeling offended. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
don't talk to me like that. I'm like, I don't gotta get no license. Don't none of my friends got licenses. I ain't the only one with no license. You feel me? Like and it made me feel some type of way. I got a license today. You feel me? I ain't doing all that. I
Good.
got a license. Look, I got a license and insurance. I've been grewed up. Okay,
Okay.
okay. But that's just to kind of show you the mindset, like stuff, and you don't realize like little stuff like that is really make the difference. Like I was listening to a video a couple years ago, and the dude was talking about how he started his day off with making his bed, and it's not a military thing because he was a
Mhm.
military man. He's like, it's a mind trick because now I accomplished something early in the day that I could say I did. And then once you get into
Mhm.
a routine of it, you start thinking back like, okay, I did it today, I did it yesterday, I did it the day before, and it's really psyching you out to do that thing every day. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't a make your bed type of guy, a girl, whatever. I just wasn't like it. Just without putting on my business out there, like I was a dirty kid growing up. You feel me? Like
Okay.
I'm just keeping funky with you. Like I ain't really care for um being
The
the cleanest
tidiness.
kid, the type. You feel me? Like
Mhm.
I ain't we got inside jokes in my family, okay? Like if you see
That's
us
okay.
laughing and you don't know what we laughing about, just know it's an inside joke going on. Because
Right.
I was just that type of kid. Like I ain't wash my hands and do all that extra stuff when I
Yeah.
came in
Yeah.
from outside. Like I ain't make my bed up. And not because my mama ain't try to
Mhm.
make us. You know what I'm saying? But that go back to that communication thing where now you yelling at me and now I don't want to do it. You feel me? Like and so as
Standing.
growing
Mhm.
into a teenager and all of that stuff, like look, I just wasn't that person. But when I moved to Texas, like they still starching their pants down here. You feel me? Like they putting
Wow.
grease on their face. They washing
Mhm.
their face. You know what I'm saying? Like with
Take
actual clean.
pride.
Like I used to wash my face with
Mhm.
hot water and a rag, and I used to think like that was okay type shit.
Mm-mm.
Like you
Mm-mm.
feel me? Like
Mhm.
it. I never understood beauty products, and when I say beauty products, I don't just mean like lipstick and stuff. I mean like
Yeah.
beauty products consist of a beauty routine for your skin. You feel me? Like
Mhm.
hydration, clean, getting all the dirt off, closing your pores. Like that stuff was never
Mhm.
important to me. But when I moved to Texas, like I ain't had no choice but to make it important. Like I used to walk around in a beater and shorts, and for a long time in Texas, like I still used to do it. Like I used to be like, "You gonna set me for who I am, or you ain't gonna set me?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, Texas wasn't going for that. They like, nah, you gonna either grow up or you gonna get left behind.
No.
You feel me?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I had to
Because beater
grow up.
insurance is norm around, our parts where we're from. Is what's the problem?
Not the
As long as you
caliber of
got on
people
some
that
as
this
long as
the
you got on some
thing.
fresh sneakers.
God put me around this caliber of people that just didn't fit. You feel me? Like if I
Mhm.
probably would have went to the hood when I first moved to Texas, maybe it would have been different. But the
Mhm.
caliber of people that are around, it just didn't fit. Like my homie Derek, he asked me one day, he like, what are you scared of? Like, why you don't want to be in the room with the big people and the biggest ex and this and talk real money? Why you keep trying to go get this little money? And I had to tell him like I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm petrified. For
Yeah.
lack of better words, what if I'm not what they think? You feel me? I am a gay black woman in America. You feel me? Like I had a lot of doubts for myself, just and most of it stemmed because I'm a black gay woman in America. You feel me? Like that's a
Yeah.
whole thing beating on your psyche right there, because ultimately the police officer gonna look at me like a black man in America. You feel me? Like I've been pulled over and said license and registration, sir. Well, what you pull me over for? Well, license and registrations are well. Actually, I'm a girl. Well, damn, my bad. License and
Yeah.
registration, ma'am. You feel me? And the only reason he pulled you
Mhm.
over is because he thought you was a young black male. You feel me? Like
Yep.
I've been through that before. So like, that's a whole different topic for a different situation. That's why I advocate for black men the way I advocate. Because unless you know kind of, and I had never be able to say I walked in their shoes, but damn near it might have been a size off or
Yeah.
two. But like I understand what they up against every day, trying to be the provider, the protector. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with the world on their shoulder. You feel me? Because for whatever
Mhm.
reation they think that you a danger, and this, you know what I'm saying? Like all that
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
real. It's real.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is I
Mhm.
have never been harassed by the police in Texas the way I have in Michigan. Like I'll never forget the first time I got pulled over in Texas. I was so scared. It was right after that Sandra Bland stuff. I was
Mhm.
petrified, and by the time the cop made it to the car, I was already crying. And she was just like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "I'm just trying to make it home. I just moved here. I don't got no license. All I got is my ID." And she was like,
Mhm.
"Listen, you gonna make it home. You I think I might have turned on a no turn or something. I'm not sure. I can't even remember." She was like, "Just what?" She didn't even continue to stop. She was just like, she asked Key because I had just picked Key up from work. She was like, "Do you
Mhm.
got license? Do you got valid license in Texas?" I'm like, she like, "Yeah." She like, "We'll swap seats." And she just made us swap seats and went about her way. She didn't write me no ticket or nothing because I think she could see the fear in my eyes. Like I was really scared. You feel me? And
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, but I've had experiences like I've been took to jail from work. You feel me? I got mug shots. Most people don't
Mhm.
even know I've been in jail. When I say it, they don't believe me. I've been to jail. I got mug shots, multiple. Now they all driving on suspended. They ain't I don't got no
Yeah.
drug
Yeah.
charges. I ain't carrying weight or nothing like that. But I got mug shots. I
Yeah.
got. I've been to court and the judge literally asked the officer, "What you pull her over for?" Cause you didn't know she ain't had no license, you ain't know she ain't had no insurance
Yeah.
till you pulled her over, and he can't. I done had the judge throw a whole case out because of that. You feel me? Like so,
Mhm.
it's just a different experience from the north to the south. Period. Like
Yes.
yeah, and don't get me
Sure.
wrong, they still crooked. They still doing them. You always gonna have bad cops. You know what I'm saying? But at
Mhm.
the end of the day, I would say this: the people they listen. Every state gonna have their hood. They gonna have their bad people. But when you connected with the right people and you staying out of trouble, the opportunities is endless in Texas. No, and it's crazy because Houston is so big. You can fit Detroit and Houston like 4 or 5 times. And
Mhm.
sometimes when you tell people that, they be like, "Well, how you do business then? How you get to know
Mhm.
people and this, that, and the third?" It's like, did you just not hear me? It's 5 million people in Texas, bro. Like, what you to
Yeah.
open your mouth and talk? What you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a
Well, that's
million
the.
people in Detroit. My chances of getting somewhere is way higher in Texas. You feel me? Like,
Mhm.
but yeah,
So
like
you're in
Texas been good.
Texas, you're learning the ropes, you're learning to pace yourself, right? You're learning to network. Tell us how you were able to open your business, and don't forget to tell us your business name, but tell us how you were able to start your business and get it up and running.
Ooh, when I first of all, when I moved to Texas, the name of my business was called Stop Shopping Print. And
Ooh, okay.
again, remember I told you I was under Tony, so I didn't
Yep.
have no machines of my own. And
Mm-hmm.
when I moved to Texas, I came to Texas. I had machines. Because Keith stepped in and she was like, "You know what? I believe in your dream," and she made it happen for me. I came to
Mm-hmm.
Texas with $18, like $14 or $18. Like I thought my plane ticket and everything, like I was broke. You feel me? I was really stepping out on faith. Like I ain't know where my next dollar was gonna come from. All I knew is I had responsibilities and I had to figure it out. And
Mm-hmm.
it started with networking events, just getting out there, meeting
Yeah.
people. And again, remember, I ain't taught. So I'm
Yeah.
still trying to remember how I got to where I'm at today because I don't even like I people always say my energy, my aura. I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand it. I'm not about to sit here and act like I'm that girl. You feel me? Like no, but that's what's
Mm-hmm.
been told to me because honestly, I'm not the person that's gonna walk up to you and start a conversation. I'm probably gonna be looking at you retarded if you walk up to me and start a conversation,
Right.
especially back then. Like back
Mm-hmm.
then, but once we start a conversation, I feel you out. We good. We talking. But as far as starting it, no. So I don't know how I got to where I'm at today. Honestly, nothing but God, honestly. And also just having good people around you somehow. But started off stop shopping print, end up getting a co-working space, which I had never heard of a co-working space till I moved to Texas. Get a co-working space, guy who owned the co-working space, Josh, white guy, kind of racist, but he the kind of racist. He like, I got black friends, so I'm not racist. You feel me? Like he was
Right.
that type.
Mm-hmm.
He was that
Mm-hmm.
type of guy. I don't want to call him racist. He's not racist because I don't think people like that are actually racist. They just still are white and they have their white people privilege. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So he was one of those type of people, and so. But he was one of those type of people where he's gonna still encourage you. He gonna give you good ideas. And I always been a helpful person. Like I always willing to lend a helping hand, and I don't mind doing physical labor. You feel me? And so
Mm-hmm.
one day we doing good. We doing good at this point. We not making a lot of money, but we making traction.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I can't remember. how we got on the conversation, but I know we was putting together new chairs for the office. And
Okay.
I had stopped in and asked him like, "Do you need help?" Because when I say Josh was good to me, he used to we was doing fashion shows back then. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, the fashion shows is really what opened the door for a lot of stuff because we already had traction in Detroit. We had already did 4 sold out shows, so the videos and all of that stuff just made it super easy for people to just like make that transition or whatever. And then fashion, print, it all just go together hand in hand.
Right,
So,
right. Hmm.
but to get back on the story, um, we putting together these bright green chairs for this bright green office because the co-working space was lime green. And I'm saying that because I need y'all to understand what type of guy Josh was. Like he just was extra for no reason, okay? He just sitting there and he just threw out 3 names, and I can't remember what the other 2 names
Yeah.
but Your Bread and Print was one of them. And I'm like, what? Like who named their company this? He like, think about it, Your Brand in Print. And it sat with me for a minute because like I was already trying to go through a name change and a rebrand. And Print was so overused. Um,
Hmm.
and not just that variation, just period. You feel me? Like one stop
Yeah.
shop printing, all of that. Like we tried it all, and it was just oversaturated. And so he was thinking of some stuff out of the box, and like I said, he came up with 3 different names that was just unique than the mug. The other 2 names though, we couldn't break down to make them shorter, so that the website would make sense. Because the one thing he used to
Hmm.
always preach to me is like, hope when you get a website, do not make it no one stop shop print. That's too many words. You feel me? Like he gonna have
Hmm.
to break it down. It's gonna have to be like OST printing, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and
Hmm.
so I sat on that Your Brand and Print for like 2 or 3 months. I ain't gonna lie to you. And my best friend Agnes, shout out to her, I sent it to her and she sent me back a logo. I'm like, well, fuck it, we rolling with it then. You done sent back the logo. I guess we
Yeah,
rolling
yeah,
with it. And
yeah.
that's how Your Brand and Print was birthed. And yeah, it's been magic ever since, man. End up leaving that co-working space because I ended up moving out to Katy, which was so far, and then
Hmm.
just branching and meeting people and one person connecting you to another person, but also good work ethic. I'm not perfect, like, but I always made an
Hmm.
effort to make sure I made hit the deadlines, made sure the quality was there, and if I'm messing up. I would say in the beginning when I messed up, I was not good at communication. I did not like disappointing my customers, so I would avoid them. But
Hmm.
as I grew up, I learned that communication is everything. And once I learned that part and learned that even when you mess up, you still call your customers like, look, I messed up. It's my fault. How can I fix it? And just be very transparent with them. It makes your life so much easier. And once I learned that, and then we had then we had Your Branded Print. Honestly, it's just been a consistent growth ever since.
Yeah.
From not having a website to getting the website to branching off to doing my own cut lines, my own graphics, the whole nine. Like it was really a process, but it ain't nothing like the process. You can't rush it, you can't go around it. You got to go through it. And the best thing I could have ever did was slow down through the process and actually go through it. Um, and like I said, we've been chugging ever since. We've been blessed. We've been
Hmm.
printed for Detroit Public Schools, the city of Detroit, the city of Houston, NRG. NRG is equivalent to like Cobo Hall in Detroit. You feel me? Just to give y'all insight to that. We printed for Travis Scott and his nonprofit. We printed for BET. We printed for Source Magazine. We printed for Loud Music. We printed for Lil Flip. We printed for Zero. We print, you know what I'm saying? Like the list goes on and on. But
Yeah,
all
yeah,
those things
yeah.
don't happen if I don't move to Texas, if I don't step out on faith. Like people don't understand. I had to leave my family. Y'all, it's just me out here. I mean, thank
Hmm.
God for good friends now and stuff. But when I first moved to Texas, it was just me and then my girl at the time. She worked 2 jobs, so we went. I'm by myself 12 hours of the day every day. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was a thing. But thank God for patience and understanding because anybody who thinking about moving to another state, your mental gonna be tested, especially when you don't got family or
Hmm.
no roots there. Your mental is gonna be tested, so you got to be prepared for that for sure.
Wow. What a beautiful story. Before we go, two more questions for you, but the first one is, where do you see your business in the future? Where do you want your to be in the future?
Can I be transparent with you? Because this is something I wouldn't have said five
Please.
years ago. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I want to sell your brand of print for about 20 mil. You feel me? Like, because the thing
Okay.
is, the company is just the process. It's just processes. You feel me? Like, I can go build another your brand of print. You feel me? Like,
Mm-hmm.
people don't understand. Coca-Cola owns so many other brands that y'all don't even know Coca-Cola own that ain't got nothing to do with soda or pop. Okay. I want to be that. You feel me? And 5 years ago, I would have told. I don't work too hard. I'm not selling my company. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna work my company forever. No, today I want
Okay.
to make $1 million companies, sell them, make another $1 million company, sell it, make another $1 million company. Go help John and Jerry make $2 million company. You feel me? Like, I just want to make $1 million companies.
Yeah.
But we also about to move into print concierge where we are everything you need. You literally just tell us what the vision is. We do everything. We pulling up on you with concepts, the whole nine. Like, y'all about to see it roll out. Mark my words.
Yes, yes, we're definitely gonna look forward to that and hope I'm so proud of you because man, your story it did not start where most, people would want their story to start, but you are literally the author of your story. So shout out to the people that you mentioned, Key, Tony, Josh, no, they did not write your story, but they did give you leverage. Just say that they help with the cover of your book, but you are literally writing every page from this. Before we conclude, what is some advice that you would give to not only the young adults, right? But what about the adults who are in their 20s, 30s, trying to figure it out, trying to be a hope of a clothing line, just want to start somewhere? What advice would you give them?
Ain't nobody self-made. No matter how many times they scream they self-made. Um,
Mm-mm.
you can't do it by yourself. Like, even now, we got employees. We got, you know what I'm saying, because I can't do it all by myself. So I would say don't be out here screaming you self-made, but also slow down, go through the process, don't rush it. Enjoy your ups, enjoy your downs, learn from them, learn from them. Learn from your ups, learn from your downs. Don't just learn from your downs. Learn when you up, learn when you down, learn when you doing it right, learn when you making mistakes. And just stay grounded in who you are, because you can be different and it's okay. Like, you feel
Mhm.
me? Don't let peer pressure get the best of you, because peer pressure is not a thing just for teenagers or kids. Adults face peer pressure every day. We just don't talk about it.
Mhm.
um, Find you a tribe. Find your tribe. Find some people to hold you accountable. Find some people that believe in you. And don't be scared to get hurt. Don't be scared to get knocked down. Don't be scared to do it wrong. Don't be scared to lose it all. Because at the end of the day, let's say you lose it all today, you're not starting from the beginning. You're not starting from scratch. You already built the foundation. You already learned something from the first time. So you starting with experience. You're starting with, that one leg up with a step the second time, because you already took the first step the first time. You feel me? So don't be scared. It's
Mhm.
gonna happen. It's a part of life. It's a part of business. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't get around it. You just got to go through it.
Mhm.
It's just that simple.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to first thank you, Hope, for letting me steal the stage of yours podcast. You heard it from Hope. Where you start is where you finish. Pace yourself. You have to go through the journey. It is not overnight success. If you don't know where to start in your community, give back to your community, and the rest will happen from there. And remember, networking is very, very, very important. And most
Hmm.
importantly, you cannot take shortcuts. You have to go through the journey.
Period.
Cousins, until next.